Yeah, if that pillow's over in the way, you can.
It's kind of my comfort blanket. I feel like it's good for me to fidget with.
It's good to lean on it.
Yeah, I feel like anxiety, kind of a fun thing.
That's why we get drugs from the pharmacist.
Okay, so this is our second episode, and we have some fun topics to talk about today. We are going to kick it off with middle child syndrome.
That's
so
funny.
It's funny because we both are middle children.
It's the worst.
I was going to say I hate it. I feel like the responsibility always falls on me more, which is weird. I feel like it should fall on the older child, like the oldest.
Not a single person ever has said being a middle child is awesome. No. Not a single person.
No, not I
haven't.
I'm not going to hop on that bandwagon. But actually, while I was thinking about what our next episode was going to be, I wanted to kind of get some statistics on middle children, and they're really funny. So I wanted, kind of crazy actually, I wanted to share one of them with you. So 25, you ready?
Okay.
To 40% are more likely to get in trouble and end up in prison.
It's funny because I believe that.
I feel like I'm into guys that are in prison apparently, but no, I definitely feel like I've gotten myself into some good trouble in the past, definitely more than either of my siblings.
For sure, me too. Like my record compared to my siblings, like I'm definitely the black sheep when it comes to the cops, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or just
I had an underage. Like neither of my siblings had that. I mean,
yeah, right.
I never sat in jail. Luckily, I mean.
Okay, me neither. I've never either. Whatever. Here's some wood.
Yeah. Right.
So.
So yeah, I thought that was crazy. I don't know. I never would have imagined middle child being the naughtiest, especially because I feel like I don't know. I feel like just in general they have more responsibility, and so that would kind of I don't know.
Yeah, no. I definitely would say I just stick out as a middle child. Like, yeah, if anybody thinks somebody's going to do something crazy, they kind of look at me and they're like, are you going to do it? And I'm like, well, yeah.
Right. Or like,
well, yeah.
They like just assume I'm going to have that experience to speak on, I guess, which I don't know.
No, right.
But another one that I saw was, if you hate being a middle child, don't worry, because we're actually becoming extinct.
So, really?
Apparently in the 70s, it was like on average, women had like 4 or more kids, obviously leaving for middle child. But now it says nearly 2/3 of women are only having 1 or 2 kids.
I did not think middle child. Really, that's crazy.
And so I just thought that was really interesting. I mean, it makes sense. Everyone's having fur babies now.
Yeah, we do not have kids. It's not in our lingo right now, so that makes sense.
And especially in this economy.
Right.
I feel like in this economy, nobody can afford. I actually just saw a video the other day of how much do you think it is to have a kid?
Oh, it's too rich for my blood.
Yeah. So just give me like a ballpark.
Oh God, I don't know, $5,000 to have a baby.
So I was looking, somebody posted their itemized bill of being in a hospital, and before insurance and everything, $51,000. And so that alone, I'm like, no wonder people quit having kids.
That does not make me want to have a baby at all. I do not have baby fever after that.
You're gonna catch me in my bed giving birth.
Makes me want to throw
like in my bathtub.
You're gonna have an at-home birth.
Yeah,
seriously, get a midwife.
Oh my
gosh. Yes, seriously. I could not in this economy, we can't have kids.
No. And so, yeah, I feel that a lot of people pets are expensive too, don't get me wrong, but they're a lot more apt to, I mean, you could just leave your pet at home for hours, and go do whatever. You can't do that with kids.
Yeah, I did take my cat to the vet to get, like, her tail was, like, thinning out. It was super fluffy. It was like okay, I don't want to complain. Okay, now thinking about it, it's not that bad. It was like a $250 vet visit.
But still, that's a lot of money.
It was, but I guess $51,000.
And I don't know. I don't know how comparable that is. Like, I don't know if that's like for the hospital itself or what. But I just saw that and that just blew my mind.
It blows my mind.
So
mind blown.
You know what? At that expense, like if we're gonna get rid of, $150,000 in debt for medical bills, I would stop having some kids too.
Yeah, for real. No, I feel that.
But also, so kind of going into how we always have more responsibility, a lot of people also really look at us as like natural born leaders. And so another fun fact is actually a little bit over half of the presidents that we've had in the U.S. have all been middle children.
Look at that.
So
we could be president someday.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting because I don't know. I in the family, I feel like I've always been like the mediator and like kind of bringing everyone together. And I feel that that's kind of something that a president does too. You know, I mean,
I
that
could
makes
see that.
sense.
I think I'm the person in my family that I bring us closer together because of the dumb shit that I do. Like, they're kind of like, why is she doing that?
Yeah, they're
What?
getting together for interventions.
Yeah, for interventions. What's wrong with her? Besides being middle child, I think that's my what's the word? Diagnosis. I did the blonde moment.
But yeah, so I don't know, anything that sticks out or that stood out for you like growing up as being a middle child?
I was the first one to get pulled over by the cops with an underage.
Me too.
Yep. So I was the first one to go to court for that. So I also win that award. I won the first disappointment award, probably. I mean, I'm sure. I keep my parents young.
Yeah.
I keep Pat and Carmen young.
Yeah. I feel like I don't get in trouble as much within myself, but I get myself into situations that
Situationships.
yeah. So like one time I was downtown and this was not smart, but these guys were like, "Hey, we're having an after party, like hop in." So we hopped into these guys' car. I think one of my friends like half-assed knew them. It probably wasn't like the safest situation, but we were all drunk. I didn't realize the driver was also drinking. I also didn't realize the driver was also like 19 or 20. So when you're under 21, the legal limit for drinking at all is zero. And so actually we were driving downtown and where we live, there's like a bridge that is only one way. There's two bridges that go one way.
Oh yeah.
And he ended up going down the wrong way. And so
oh, shit.
I'm just like, oh, just have the window down, enjoy my life. And then all of a sudden my friend next to me, she goes, "We're going the wrong way." And I was like, "Really?" And I look and there's like headlights coming at us. And it was like, actually, I feel like I was so drunk I wasn't really that scared.
That's
I was just
crazy.
Kind of like, woo, whatever, like memories.
Hey.
But yeah, so actually we got pulled over and he went to jail and we had to get somebody to come pick us up.
You guys were okay?
We were okay. Nothing happened. Luckily, everyone else on the road was pretty what's the word? Vigilant and looking at, ahead of them and just paying attention. They were flashing lights at us and honking at us and stuff. So
what a Midwest like night when we're like, woo, going down the one lane, woo,
yeah, woo. So yeah, I don't know. I feel there's a lot of times where I have been in trouble, but it's not necessarily because of me. It's like situations that I've been involved in.
Yeah, see, it's not us. I think we welcome opportunities.
Yeah.
Of dumb shitness.
Yeah, and so actually the middle child syndrome is actually described as like feeling excluded and ignored and neglected. And so something like, I honestly feel that a little bit. I feel my parents have always given me a little bit more leeway and responsibility in the sense of like, I didn't have to tell them where I was going. I'd just be like, "Hey, I'm going to go hang out with a friend. I'll be back." It was never like, "Hey, did you get your homework done?" I was always the responsible one where I was never expected to do certain things that like an older sister would do. Yeah. She just needed a little bit more guidance, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe that's just my family, but
I feel like I can relate on that in a sense. So being a hairstylist, I got very busy in my early 20s and thankful for that. And I think there was a time that I didn't talk to my parents very often, but I also felt like because they know they don't have to worry about me because I am responsible,
right?
They didn't check in on me as often. So I felt like that was them ignoring me. Like what?
Right?
Like you don't give a shit that I'm slaying hair up here right now.
I'm proud of you, maybe.
Yeah, and at the time, but like. Yeah, I mean, now I think, like, they have other shit going on, too. Like, I'm not the only child, but I am a middle child. So it's, like, sometimes I do feel like, yeah, that you get lost in the mix.
And, like, astrology, too. I'm a Leo, and so I feel I end up being, like, about me, like, what about me, And so I don't know if that was, like, a middle child thing or if that was, like, a Leo thing, too.
Leo and you.
But also another thing that we kind of wanted to jump into was being a tall girl.
I
feel like you can also say like excluded, ignored, and neglected for tall girls also.
For sure.
Especially because for me, I even but I've been struggling with today is like my jeans. My jeans just never fit.
That's the first thing I was going to say about being a tall girl is the jeans.
Oh my God, I just get so irritated. I can't wear like any shoes that are like low tops. I have to wear like high tops in order to like fill that gap.
Otherwise, we wear capris.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I'm doing right now. Look at this gap. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, we get
but it's just insane.
Where's the flood?
Yeah.
That's what my family makes fun of me. My family's like 5'6" and shorter, so they're like, "Where's the gap at?" Or not, sorry, where's the gap? Where's the flood at?
Yeah, right.
And so, it sucked because I used to have to share jeans with my mom and my sister growing up,
and they're short.
Yeah. So I was like, I look like just a giant in these jeans, and I was just. I hated it.
Repping Hulk.
Yeah, I look like the Hulk coming out. Me, Hulk, mad.
And I feel like everyone glorifies tall girls.
Now they do.
Everyone that's short wants to be tall.
Yeah.
Well, like the good things. What are tall girls good for? Sports.
D1 athletes having D1 athletes.
Yeah, and
having D1 athletes.
Also, like modeling.
Yeah, like also.
But if you're in the Midwest, how many girls are you seeing modeling from? You know what I mean?
Not very often.
Modeling is not.
It's Finsta.
I don't know. Yeah.
Instagram modeling.
One thing I thought was really funny was they said that tall girls are oftentimes naturally graceful.
Really? I could feel like I'm a clumsy swan, but I could be graceful.
I feel like I've never been one that's been called graceful. I just am like, I have the height, but I don't have the skill. That's always been my go-to.
Did you play sports in high school?
Like middle school, maybe.
So being a tall girl, people shamed you for that. They were like, you should be playing basketball.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, dude, I'm just not that way. And I was forced to play sports growing up because my family thought I just had that natural ability. Yeah. And I'm like, I broke both of my arms in the same year growing up, actually. Not at the same time, but I broke my right arm playing basketball. Yeah, it almost was that way. And so then I broke my left arm playing volleyball. So I'm not graceful. Yeah. I'm not graceful, but I could try.
Yeah, I know. And so I feel that at the end of the day, tall girls are still glorified, but tall girls want to be short and short girls want to be tall.
It's true.
Always want what you can't have.
But here's the thing, being a tall girl, I feel like anybody who's short has to point out how short they are.
Yep.
But anybody who's tall, people have to tell them how tall they are.
Like, we're like always, I don't know about you. I'm always like hunched over. Like I don't want to like stand out in a crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really used to feel that way. But I think when I started wearing platforms, that's when I was like, okay,
embrace it.
I'm embracing it now. Yeah. But I didn't. It took me a long time to get there. Like it really did.
The hardest part for me about embracing my height is men.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I have an issue, men. No, but
if I can't wear these around you, then you're not tall enough to ride this ride.
What do you think the average height for U.S. men is?
Dude, I don't know. According to my Hinge, I don't think it's that tall. I'm going to guess that I see a lot of 5'10".
Yeah. Okay. So that's like the average for U.S. men is 5'9".
Oh shit. Okay.
And I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'9". 5'9", 5'8".
Yeah. And so we're both pretty.
We're tall girls.
Yeah.
We're tall girls.
So it's kind of hard because when we're 5'9" and most average men in the U.S. is 5'9", it's just hard because I want to wear like those platforms, but I want to
wear these.
I don't want to look like I'm bringing my little brother around with me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of stingy about that. Yeah. I want somebody that's taller.
And so just being a tall girl dating it's a scavenger hunt, really.
Yeah, honestly. Well, not for most women. I guess do you know what the average for women is?
What? Like 5'5".
5'4". You're close.
I'm close.
Yeah,
oh my god.
5'4". So I feel like for most women, it's really not that bad. 5'4" and 5'9". I feel like that's a good difference.
Yeah.
But when you're a tall girl, you know, I feel like only 10% of women are taller than 5'7".
Really? So we're slim picking.
So we're rare.
Rare.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of crazy. I thought there was a lot more tall girls out there, but apparently we're a lot more rare than we thought.
We are not common. Okay. Yeah. I feel special. I'll take that. But it still sucks being a tall girl sometimes.
Yeah, and even guys that are really tall, they like make it their whole personality. And I feel like tall guys that I've ever met, they just don't have one.
They don't.
They don't feel like they need one.
No, I talked to this guy in Hinge, and I complimented his cats because I'm a fellow cat lover, and also a fellow tall lover.
Right.
And all he like gave me was closed-ended conversation. I'm like, you just think because you're 6'9" means that I'm just gonna jump on you, which you're right, but like give me something to work with a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, dating sucks. Finding clothes sucks. Like when you're a size medium, you have to get a size large.
Right.
Rompers.
But then it doesn't fit you right.
No.
Like you're buying things. I feel that even with like shirts, I feel a lot of times they like cut off weird. Even when I'm like online shopping is miserable for being a tall girl.
Yes, I was gonna say, like when I wear long sleeves, where's the flood? Because I still am having the problem of having been too short.
Now that I wear an Apple Watch, I feel that I don't care as much about the sleeves just because I'm gonna naturally roll it up a little bit anyway, so it doesn't cover my watch.
Yeah.
But when I don't wear them, I'm such a stickler about it.
I feel that I stopped wearing my watch and I kind of want to wear it again just for that reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel naked without it.
I know, and it just adds a little you know.
I know. I let it be a part of me for a little bit. I do miss it.
That's how I feel about my nose ring. That's like a part of me that will never come out.
Dude, I need to get mine re-pierced. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Maybe. So
maybe.
The ball that my ring is in is like on the outside of my nose right now. In the part, so I think how should it go in? Actually, all I know is that it's spun around too far. That there's skin between my nose ring and the ball.
Oh, so it's not like
it's fully closed, or it's not completely open.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to get it re-pierced.
Dude.
I know, but
have you ever thought about getting like a double pierce?
Yes, I do.
I think those are kind of cute.
Yeah, piercings.
I've seen.
See, when you're a tall girl, and you can't accessorize in the cute, petite little clothes.
Yeah.
You can accessorize with nose rings and
definitely
and other shit. So. Yeah. When you get your clothes, where do you go?
When I go shopping, I'm going to be honest, for the longest time, well, when I was teaching, I only wore leggings because I feel like at the end of the day, they were stretchy enough where I could like stretch them a little bit to make them fit better than jeans versus jeans have like no stretch to them. And they're just a lot more comfortable. But when I have gotten jeans, I really do go a little bit on the extra length and spend a little bit extra money. I really like Can jeans a lot.
Yeah, they are great.
They have like longer jeans in general, but otherwise, if I go to like American Eagle and kind of some of those basic things, I do like those because they do have that extra long option too.
Yes. Oh my God. So I was in Plato's Closet the other day. And the time it takes to find the perfect pair of jeans.
Yeah. I don't even look. It's so overwhelming for me.
I had to bring my brother there the other day because he's tall too. And so his waist is a 29 and they hardly make those. We found him a couple shorts the other day. It was so awesome.
Yay.
Yeah. So
where were they from?
Hurley was a brand.
Okay.
I don't remember the other one. But when I took my brother shopping the other day because I really wanted to step up his clothes. I'm like, you need a new hat. And I know you're a tall guy, but you need to be looking cute because you're trending right now, you know?
You're trending.
Right now. So.
You got the hair done.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
No, so he wants me to give him a haircut, but, oh no, he doesn't want a haircut.
Yeah, because he wants the mullet.
He wants some, yeah, and I can't have that.
No mullet.
No mullet. Bad news. So I would like him to get a haircut with a girl that works here.
Nice.
Anyway, so we took him to the mall. I took him to Tilly's because he just needed a new hat, and so he spent money on that. And then he's like, "Wow, it's really expensive." I'm like, "Welcome to fashion and looking good. You have to spend a little bit." But then I was like, I'll show you a trick. We'll go to Plato's. So found some stuff.
Good.
We were happy with it, but it took a long time to find the right clothes for tall people. You have to check out Old Navy. They sell clothes like basics that are good for long. They'll sell long, so a size small, long, or medium long, whatever you are.
I always I've had like a bad experience with Old Navy. Every time I go in, I just have never found anything that is like trendy. They always have like very off the wall, out of pocket things.
My grandma loves to take me there, and she always buys me something off the wall.
I was gonna say
yes. So my grandma takes me shopping there, but I will say if you go online, you can find basics.
Yeah. Okay.
For size long and yes, because I feel that, girl. Eddie Bauer sells size long, but then again, you're spending.
I know. It's it's great to be tall and all until you have to find wardrobe.
Yeah,
Or
I know. Shout out to Lululemon for having the longs.
I love Lululemon. I wish it was a little bit cheaper, but
I know, take my money.
Did you hear that there's also like they're saying there's a bunch of microplastics in like workout clothes? That they're saying stop wearing like workout clothes because like when you sweat your pores open and then you're getting all those plastics and stuff. I don't know. I haven't really like looked into it too bad, but I could see that.
I could see that. That's crazy. And then stop working out or no,
stop working out.
Stop working out.
That'd be nice, so I wouldn't have a guilt anymore about not working
out.
I feel like everyone has that guilt, but like also for me being a tall girl, I've not really worried about my weight as much. I feel like it's always been a little bit easy. When you're tall, it's easier because there's more places for it to kind of distribute out to, and so I've never really had to worry too much. I mean, I had baby fat and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like definitely after college, I lost all my baby weight. And then and so I feel like when you're a little bit on like the chunkier side, it's a little bit easier to find clothes, but when you're like really skinny and really tall, I feel like that's also another hurdle too.
And it sucks that it isn't talked about enough. I will say that my brother has insecurities of being too thin.
Yes. I know. Yeah. People make so many awful comments about it to me. Like
you're a jerk for being small.
Yeah, and like you need to eat more. And I'm like,
that's not cool.
I eat plenty. Like I'm not gonna be sick by eating too much. Like if I'm full, I'm gonna stop eating. And if this is the weight that I'm at, I mean, I don't feel like I look too thin. I feel like maybe, I don't know.
But I think other people don't know how to handle these emotions that they're having of jealousy, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not all what it's cracked up to be, because you have problems too.
Yeah. And I also think that it's even like an older generation thing. I feel that a lot of older people have commented on it. Especially like, rips in your jeans and things like that. But I feel that there's been a lot of times where old people will comment and, ooh, you're so skinny. Why don't you get some meat on your bones? I know it's like a classic for old people. So that's another thing that I've dealt with.
That makes my brother cry when he heard that. Like,
I know, it feels shitty because it's not something that we're not like out here starving ourselves. No, like we're eating.
I'm sorry, I'm a giant. Yeah, fuck me for being a giant.
Sorry for being so tall, but yeah, and also it's like a genetic thing too. Yeah, both my parents are pretty thin too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I know, like, my brother was so sad about it the other day, so we were, like, getting him protein. My older sister is on it. She's like, we're going to get you all this protein, all these things, and I think, like, him getting out of college, he just isn't confident with himself, so I'm like, we need to take this tall boy shopping. He just needs to feel good, and I do feel like always finding the right fit makes anybody feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes him feel dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what I was thinking?
What?
Is how good it is to be a tall girl at concerts, though.
Okay, actually, that's funny that you said that because do you remember when we went to All American Rejects?
I do.
I just threw that shirt on today.
Yeah, that was such a good concert.
It was. I think the reason why it was so good, though, is my mom had this, like, edible weed butter, and the funniest part is I put it on, it was just nasty. It tasted like dumpster fire. And so I put it on, like, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for Bailey to try, and first of all, it was way too potent, and second of all, yuck. It was so hard to eat too, like
chomping butter. It was definitely bad. Homemade.
Yeah, it was. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong, it worked wonders.
It worked. It did wonders.
My eyes were pretty cross-eyed at the concert, but even so, it was an amazing concert. All American Rejects, it's like a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know, but being a tall girl definitely helps a lot in that.
Yeah, dude. So when I go to my EDM festivals, I have these thick platform boots that I wear, and I'm a tall girl, and I am rocking it because if I don't, who will?
Right.
So I love going to these festivals and just like people below me. I really don't care. I'm like, yeah, you should be looking up to me.
And
as you should.
I honestly feel so bad for women that are really short, you just see them like in the crowd and they're like this much difference in the crowd and they're just like trying to look and they can't see anything. Like, I feel bad.
And then they get on some sweaty dude's shoulders and then you're getting swass on them, and like that's just not what tall girls have to do.
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose there are some things that I should be grateful for about being tall. know. But I think it just was my biggest complaint.
Yes, is the dating stinks. Where are the tall boys at?
Yeah, honestly. And I don't know how.
I feel like here's the thing. I think they're trending right now. Tall boys are trending. So I think they're all taken for the season. Maybe they'll come out during winter time. Maybe that's where they all come out.
Oh, where are you hiding at? But anyways, so that was kind of wraps up our episode of tall girls and middle children.
Oh, the pros and cons of being a both. If you can relate, you need to comment what you think and what your problems are.
Yeah, tell us what your problems are. We are not psychologists, but we
can relate.
We can relate and comment what other topics you'd like us to talk about. I feel like we are actually going to be moving into a little bit of politics.
Dude, yes.
So we'll have to maybe get in, especially with the presidential debate that happened and everything.
Trump almost getting assassinated again today.
Yeah.
Not today, or it was
like a golf course.
Yeah, not crazy. Anyway, we'll save it for next time.
Yeah, next time. So politics are up next. So
boys, stay tuned.
That was